Today, we'll be looking into the tragic accident happened with Frank Fritz from American Pickers. The last point of the video is very important, so watch the video till the end. Let's go now. Nearly 2 years has gone by since Frank Fritz left the historical drama American Pickers, which rocketed him to fame. After almost 10 years of work on American Pickers, Frank Fritz announced his departure from the program in 2021. It seems sense that Frank's departure would catch viewers' interest. But according to rumors, Frank was taken to the hospital in July 2022. Everyone is now curious about what happened to him. Mike Wolf and Frank Fritz from American Pickers have become one of the most respected television pairs ever after more than 21 seasons and almost 300 episodes. They have helped History Network grow, and one of the network's biggest hits is their show. Wolf and Fritz, two superb pickers who get along well, explored the country looking for abandoned garages, barns, and farmhouses during the whole episode. They also naturally looked for treasures that had been neglected. American Pickers was successfully terminated, or at least that was the program's planned result. A major falling out between Fritz and Wolf surfaced in the summer of 2021. So what was the cause of this violent competition amongst American Picker celebrities? Looking back, it was evident that differences continued until the beginning of 2020. Up to the very beginning of season 21, the show kept to its tried-and-true pattern of Frank Fritz and Mike Wolf going through the country in pursuit of wealth. But Fritz's time on the show came to an end when the 7th episode of the series, Burlesque Queen, aired. In this episode, Frank and Mike go to Kansas City in search of unique and unusual items. However, Fritz was not present in the subsequent episode, Ghost of the West. The former partner of store manager Danielle Colby, and she herself, provided no explanation for anything, not even a miss. Season 22 of the show didn't begin demonstrating until January 2021, a year or two after the first Fritz-free episodes aired, because to lockdowns and other restrictions brought on by the coronavirus pandemic. Since Fritz, the American Pickers star, had been replaced and was still missing from the show, fans worried he may never return. In the month of July 2021, Frank Fritz made an appearance to calm fans' worries over his unavailability and provide a justification for his departure from the show. Fritz said that he was considering leaving American Pickers, but ultimately decided not to return for the next season. Fritz could continue if the two comments seem identical by saying that there's more to the story. In the end, he says, the network will choose whether or not to renew the show. I went to see the performance. I underwent minor back surgery after the production, and then the pandemic hit. In the midst of all those health issues, Fritz continued to discuss everything that Wolf had said or done that really heightened their hostility. Before the world found out about the American Pickers fight, Frank Fritz claimed to have been severing off his relationship with Mike Wolf, whom he said he had known for more than 40 years. Fritz said, "I haven't spoken to Mike in 2 years," and mentioned how painful it was to have his old friend and former co-star from 10 years ago completely ignored before or after his back surgery. Although knowing about my back issue, he refused to follow up with me. That's how things stand right now. This appeared to bring up further issues, chief among them, the conflict over Wolf's conception and execution of American Pickers. The declaration was then formally revealed by the History Channel on July 21st, 2021. A spokesman from the network confirmed each week that Fritz's time on American Pickers was coming to an end. He said that Fritz will not be reappear in any further episodes. The insider claims that Fritz was never meant to be a part of the show's primary story and that the network has no desire to bring him back. Mike Wolf had also expressed his concerns about Fritz's absence at this point, but he did so without answering any of the criticisms leveled at him by his now former co-star. Oddly enough, he expressed no public opposition to Fritz's decision, only wished his former colleague well. I have known Frank for as long as I can remember. According to Wolf, he's been like an older brother to me. The journey that Frank, Danny, and I took back in 2009 has been filled with possibilities as well as difficulties, as with everything in life. However, it has also shown to be the most productive. Like everyone else, I hope and pray that Frank keeps getting ahead on his path. He will be missed. While some of the other American Pickers family members' remarks were a little more emotive, Mike Wolf addressed the current Frank Fritz issue in a direct, polite, and professional way. On the 2nd of August 2021, Danielle Colby shared some information about the upheaval behind the scenes on Instagram, which significantly contributed in the creation of the event's success triangle. It was clear that Colby had made a decision. Colby said, "With an image of herself and Wolf enjoying the road again, I'm proud of how you have taken on the last 12 years and look forward to additional years of rolling around this big marble with. I regret deeply for Frank's loss on the show. I'm really sad for him and his struggles." Colby continued by saying that even if she wishes things had gone in various ways, everyone has to be accountable for their actions when they cause someone else to suffer. Thereafter, the story of American Pickers, Frank Fritz, and Mike Wolf's current joint enterprise began to take form. So, after Fritz's interview, in which he claimed to have not spoken to Wolf in years, and after Wolf's thoughtful remarks upon discovering that Fritz had left American Pickers, one of the two opposing sides met for another tense interview. Fritz returned to the light, appreciative of Wolf's words of support, when Mike claimed that he was lying. Fritz stated that everything had been set up for him. Unless he was making fun of someone else while we were laughing together, I don't believe he said something kind to me in 10 years. However, Wolf kept silent in reaction to Fritz's remarks. Fritz disclosed that while it seems their issues have been settled, he is still at conflict with his former co-star in a way that might do major damage to both of them, his former producers, as well as himself. Frank Fritz, on the other hand, got rehabilitation for his alcoholism and believed he was ready to return to American Pickers. Fritz stated he had been in the Abbey Center, a different sort of treatment facility in Betterdorf, Iowa, for 77 days trying to kick his alcohol addiction. "I was getting a little tired of drinking," Fritz said. "My mother was an addict who passed away a decade ago from alcohol-related causes. My grandfather drank too much and ended his life. That didn't seem acceptable to me." He said that the surgery was quite challenging for him, so in order to pass the time while recovering, he read 12 self-help books. In addition, Fritz had been sober for almost a year when he was asked. In addition to continuing to visit a therapist twice a week, he would want to resume co-hosting American Pickers. Even though Frank Fritz has allegedly sought treatment for his dependence on heroin, the subject is still sensitive given the claims made by his friends, family, and former American Pickers co-star Mike Wolf. Wolf said on behalf of the whole American Pickers cast and crew, "We all do care about Frank and we want Frank back on the show. We really would like him to do things correctly, but he just can't seem to." Wolf said that he was interested to speak with Fritz again, after over a year apart, but he can't speak on Fritz's ability to control his alcoholism. Wolf argues that Frank is merely taking the blame for his addictions, and that it's unfortunate that he made decisions that put him in this situation. While it seems like Frank Fritz is taking a break from television, it would also be in his best interest to sort out his personal problems and make better choices for his own life. I think that wraps up our conversation for today. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.